Hello and welcome to this Blender tutorial, which is about the new Remesh Modifier, which is a new tool that has only been available since Blender version 2.62 onwards. So if you have an older version, you should update your software from blender.org before continuing with this. The Remesh Modifier is very useful for correcting ugly triangular faces on a mesh, which are very often created when you use the Boolean modifier. Triangular faces are bad for many reasons, but one of the most practical reasons is that they do not smooth well, and they can cause unpredictable results when you use the subsurface modifier. So first of all, we're going to use the Boolean modifier to create a custom shape by cutting a hole through a cube, as we did in the last tutorial. So add a cube and a cylinder to your scene, then add the Boolean modifier to the cube and use the difference operation to create a cylinder-shaped hole in the cube. Finally, delete the cylinder. Select the cube and open the Object tab, then switch on wires so we can actually see the mesh that's been created for us. So as in the previous tutorial, we can see these ugly triangular faces that were created by the Boolean operation. Now if we add the Remesh modifier from the Modifiers tab to the cube, immediately Blender completely recalculates the entire mesh of the object to make it primarily quads and much more efficient, effective, and useful in terms of manipulating the object in many different ways. So you can adjust the settings in the Remesh modifier, such as the octree depth, which will increase the complexity or simplify the mesh by making it more or less accurate compared to the original object. And you can also adjust the scale, which increases or decreases the size of the faces. So obviously, the larger the scale, the less detail you have in your object, and it can begin to lose its original shape. So you just have to try and get the balance right between these settings. So using the Remesh modifier allows you to end up with a much better mesh than what you would end up with if you just accepted what the Boolean modifier gives you. So next we'll have a look at a quick example involving some typography. So if we add some text to the scene, using Shift A and add text, and then go into edit mode, delete the text and type in your name. Then switch back to object mode and press Alt C to open the Convert to menu. And from that list, choose Convert to Mesh from Curves Metasurf Text. So this will create a mesh out of your text. And once you do that, the text is no longer editable as text. It's become a mesh object. So switch back to edit mode and you'll see the horrible triangular faces that Blender has created for us in the conversion process of turning our letters into meshes. So select all of the faces and extrude upwards to make the text three-dimensional. You could have also done this in the text options before converting the text into a mesh, as we saw in the previous 3D text tutorial. So go back to object mode now and switch on wire and add the Remesh modifier to your text object. Straight away we can see the dramatic improvement in the mesh topology. The ugly triangles are gone and we're left with beautiful and more useful geometric quad faces. When we added the Remesh modifier at that time, only one of the letters was left. This is because of the Remove Disconnected Pieces checkbox in the Remix modifier options. If you untick this box, then the other letters should come back. However, you might need to split up individual letters sometimes if you're turning them into meshes rather than trying to apply this technique to long words or sentences, as results may not be quite as good as they should be if you use long, complicated objects like that. So one of the problems with the remesh modifier is that it tends to add more faces than we might need. Of course, we can actually delete them and merge the vertices together to create simpler meshes. However, in most cases, the remesh modifier does a fantastic job, and it's a very welcome addition to Blender's toolset.